This is a special edition of the weekly roundup, as this week there was some midweek action. This roundup will cover action in the Bundesliga, Carabao Cup, or English League Cup, and the Club World Cup. Let us begin. Fortuna played Dortmund. First place Dortmund went away to 15th Fortuna. Dortmund's undefeated domestic record came to an end in Spirit Arena in a game where Dortmund dominated possession with 73% of it. Both teams were relatively even on number of chances, however. Luca Bello gave Fortuna the lead 22 minutes in, and early on in the second half, Zimmer doubled that lead. For Dortmund, Adesir attempted to spark a comeback, scoring in the 81st minute, but despite his best efforts, Dortmund lost this match, snapping their undefeated record. This means only two teams remain undefeated in the top four leagues, they being Juventus of Italy and Liverpool of England. It was a match between third and fourth place in the Bundesliga, as Bayern Munich played RB Leipzig. Leipzig did well to hold off the defending Bundesliga champions, but in the 83rd, Ribery scored the only goal of the match to see Bayern grab all 3 points, closing the gap between them and the leaders, Borussia Dortmund, by 3 points. Towards the end of the match, 2 players were sent off in stoppage time: Renato Sanchez, Portuguese for Bayern, and Silenskenser for Leipzig. Sanchez was sent off for receiving a second yellow for his angry reaction towards Lesensker, who made a horrendous tackle on him earlier and received a straight red card for that offense. And it was a very harsh tackle towards the end of the match, with tempers flaring between the two sides. Honestly, I feel there was not much need to react the way he did, Renato Sanchez, but I can understand the way he was hit so rough, that tempers do tend to flare, and he would get mad at a tackle like that. And however, at the end of that, they both ended up getting sent off, meaning both teams finished the match at 10 men each. As it stands in the Bundesliga, Dortmund are top with 39 points. Second and third place, Mönchengladbach and Bayern Munich are level on 33 points, with Mönchengladbach having the superior goal difference. In fourth, RB Leipzig sit with 28 points. Now on to the Carabao Cup, or the English League Cup. Middlesbrough played Burton, and Burton saw much less of the possession. Opponents claimed victory from a goal in the 48th minute from Keith. Kevin De Bruyne, who was recovered from injury, gave superior Manchester City the lead 14 minutes in, with Al Brighton, who leveled the scoring in the 73rd minute for the hosts. Penalties were needed to decide the winner, with Manchester City winning 3-1 on penalty kicks. 2 Premier League sides met. Chelsea played Bournemouth, as Chelsea dominated the match, but were unable to find a breakthrough goal until late on in the 84th minute, when talisman Eden Hazard scored to win the match for the Blues. Another all-Premier League matchup between Arsenal and Tottenham. It was relatively tight between the two sides. In the 20th, Heung-min Son struck to give Tottenham the lead, and in the 59th, Dele Alli scored to double their lead and finish the game 2-0. Now, these are the final 4 teams after the quarterfinals concluded in the Carabao Cup, which is the least important tournament of the season for the teams competing in it. But however, it's still a piece of silverware up for grabs, so teams will take it seriously, especially for teams like Tottenham, who have yet to really claim a title in a long time. They have not yet to win any silverware. Burton, who don't get a chance to compete at such a high level ever. Chelsea, who don't really seem like they're going to win anything this season. Maybe the Europa League. That's all they have a chance at winning this season, most likely. Manchester City, who won the Carabao Cup last season, are competing for far more important tournaments. They are favorites in Champions League, favorites in the Premier League, favorites to win the FA Cup as well. So they just want to try to grab as much silver as they can this season. And I think if they win this, and they win the Premier League as they did last season, or they win the Champions League, it'll look really good at the end of the season, and Pep Guardiola will be very happy. Now, the draw, which comes up which is coming up soon. Obviously, all the teams want to play Burton, which is the only non-Premier League side left in the Final Four. Burton are not that reputable of a team. They're really unheard of outside of England. They don't play top-flight football. They don't really play that many really good teams, and they're in the Football League One of England, meaning that they're not that skilled, and they're 15th in that league, meaning they won't be promoted anytime soon to any higher league. Now on to the most important tournament of the midweek, the Club World Cup, which has reached its semi-final stage, which was hosted in the United Arab Emirates this year, as it was hosted in the United Arab Emirates last year. Real Madrid, who won it in 2017 and in 2016, reached the semifinals of the 2018 edition. Let's get started. In our first semifinal, Argentinian side River Plate played the United Arab Emirates side Al Ain. Berg scored for the Emirati side in the 3rd minute. Boré responded with goals in the 11th and 16th minute. In the 51st, Calio leveled the match for Al Ain, who would end up prevailing 5-4 on penalties, despite River Plate getting a penalty late on in the second half, which would hit the crossbar. Truly, I'm sure River Plate would be very disappointed, especially with the fact they had a penalty. Al Ain scored all 5 of their spot kicks, while River Plate saw their 5th kick saved by their keeper Khalid Isa. And I think that wouldn't be too, for River Plate, that wouldn't be too exciting to go out like that. They were the heavy favorites, as expected, but Al Ain managed to upset them and progress to the Club World Cup final, which shall be played on Saturday of this week. In the other semi-final, Kashima Antlers, 3rd place in Japan, while Real Madrid are 4th in Spain, met. The game began very open. It took a second for Kashima to get a chance, and only 2 minutes for Kashima to get another chance. From the start, it seemed like it would be a very open and end-to-end match. From a little after the 20th minute mark, Real Madrid had a spell where they held most of the position and had all the chances. In the 37th, Kashima got a free kick from a dangerous position, but was well off target. In the 44th, just before halftime, 1-2 pass sequence with Marcelo sees Bale through at an angle and shoots, hitting the bottom of the post and going in. At halftime, Real held 64% of the possession and led in shots, 8-5. I felt that it was even most of the match, with Real not having a goal at the end of the first half. For Kashima, I felt they should be defending the way they do. I think it worked for the majority of the time, and they should commit more numbers forward to try to level the scoring. For Real, I think they should not change anything. I think what they were doing is good, and if Kashima don't play right, eventually they'll break down and concede. A defensive calamity from Yamamoto of Kashima passed the ball in behind the keeper straight into Bale's path, who made it 2-0 in the 53rd minute. Only minutes later, Bale scored again from a similar angle to the first, but straight into the corner, completing his hat-trick in the 55th minute, a hat-trick spanning 11 minutes. In the 60th minute, Solari made his first change of the match, taking Bale off for Asensio. In the 74th minute, however, Asensio, being on the field for 14 minutes, his playing time came to an unfortunate end, where he appeared to have suffered an injury in his thigh. He was subbed off, as I said, 14 minutes after his substitution, after he came on the pitch for Asensio. In the 77th minute, Kashima Antlers put the ball in Courtois' net, but after the video assistant referee reviewed Doy's shot, it was ruled a goal, concluding the match. 3-1 for Real Madrid, to our 2-time defending Club World Cup champions. Now, the final between Al Ain and Real Madrid. Obviously, Real Madrid are heavy favorites. Probably, I'm sure the odds will be somewhere around 92-93% of Real Madrid winning. But let's not forget, Al Ain, the Emirati side, are the host. The United Arab Emirates are hosting the tournament, and they are the team that represents the United Arab Emirates in this tournament. So they should use the home crowd as much as possible, the home field, the home stadium, as much as they can, for it to get as much of an advantage as they possibly can against Real Madrid, because they're going to need every little bit of advantage they can get. Now, Real Madrid have been struggling this season. There have been many times they have played absolutely horribly. So I feel if they have one of those games and the line play the way they played against River Plate, a line could win this match. But if Real Madrid play like they played against the Kashima Antlers today, on Saturday, there is no way that anyone can win this besides Real Madrid, and Real Madrid would win a third title in a row in the Club World Cup. That'll be it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. This paper ball rolling out.